there, K-Ball here from ZenDev, where I help developers and teams level up their front-end skills. This is your Friday front-end inspiration, where I talk about something that got me super pumped this week in the front-end world. This week's inspiration is WebAssembly. I've done a couple different things about WebAssembly this week, so I actually wrote a blog post that is the inspiration for this that I'm going to link to about WebAssembly. But I was also on a podcast with Jay Phelps, who's a WebAssembly expert on JS Party. I'll put a link for that when it's available too. WebAssembly is super cool. So if you haven't heard, WebAssembly is essentially an assembly language, a bytecode for the web. And you can compile down pretty much any language eventually into assembly. You can compile C, C++, Rust, all these traditional server-side languages. Now you can compile them down to something that can run in the browser. Now, we're in early days for WebAssembly, and only a few of those, C++ and Rust, are really production ready. But the potential that this enables is incredible. So first off, just in terms of diversity, this means that no matter what your development language preference or background, you'll be able to develop web applications. And we're starting to see client-side frameworks developed in languages like Rust that are traditionally very systems and low-level stuff. So super cool things there. It's also going to enable sharing code in a way that historically has just been available for the web development. So like you look at things like JS Fiddle or CodePen, these things have dramatically accelerated the learning of web development languages. But imagine you could compile and run code written in C++, written in Java, written in Haskell or Erlang or one of these other traditional server-side languages in a browser, share it with people just like you do with CodePen or something like that. Like, it's incredible. It's also blazingly fast. And not just in execution time, but in something that's been showing up more and more, which is load time. A browser can parse WebAssembly, particularly Firefox has shown that they can parse WebAssembly faster than it comes in over the wire, which means you no longer have this long load time before you get to interactive as the browser parses and understands your code. You put it in, it boots up, it's ready to go. So this could make complex JavaScript applications, complex client-side applications, I should say, boot up as fast as a static website seems to, where it's instantly workable and you can start interacting with it right away. There's so much more as they add threading and parallelism and things like that to WebAssembly, which is planned but not there yet. This will mean the ability to create really fine-grained parallel applications in the browser. And I expect most of this stuff is going to get baked into tooling, baked into frameworks, stuff that like Vue or React that does all of its render calculations and figures things out, will just do things parallelly, quickly, incredibly in the background. There's so much here, and I can't go on enough. So WebAssembly is the future of the web. It's not going to kill JavaScript. JavaScript will always be there, but WebAssembly is going to power more and more frameworks and libraries, enabling us to go lightning speed. Check it out. There's a link down below to my blog post. I'll put one to the podcast I mentioned as soon as that podcast is live. If you enjoyed this, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. There will be a link up there. I always go back and forth. Up there will be a link to subscribe. And this is part of my Friday Frontend newsletter, which you can check out right down below. Click there, sign up for that. You'll get this in your inbox every week. All right. Hope you're as inspired and excited about WebAssembly as I am. This is K-Ball signing out.